One of my favorite movies from the 90s was The Usual Suspects. In the movie, and I'm going to spoil it because it's the 90s and you should have seen it by now. In the movie, Kevin Spacey plays a character who is telling this elaborate story that seems to be legend, it seems to be made up, but in the end, what he was doing was he was taking bits and pieces from his world, from his vantage point, from the room where he was in, and it was one room where he was pulling all these clues and making up this elaborate story that seemed to be going somewhere. It ends up going somewhere else. I guess I'll leave that for you to watch if you haven't seen it. But in the end, the movie drops all kinds of clues for the audience and the other characters in the movie to kind of figure out at the end. It's kind of the first movie I thought of when I thought of this week's passage from Daniel 7, where we hear about the visions that Daniel is seeing in these dreams, and it paints this picture of what Christians recognize as the Ancient of Days, which is God, and then the Son of Man, which is Jesus. And in this scene, Jesus comes on the scene. His dominion is going to last forever, and it's this beautiful picture of clues that had been dropped throughout the Old Testament that when you know the end of the New Testament, you can see the story and the reign and the rule of Jesus kind of being foreshadowed. This week in Love This Book, that was what the first question was about, was how Daniel 7 talks about the life and the reign of Jesus. And that's really all I wanted to describe this week for Love This Book was, it's a fun story to watch when you know the end, but you see this elaborate story that God has woven throughout Scripture, maybe even throughout your life, as you see seemingly unrelated or coincidental events unfold. Hopefully you can start putting the pieces together and see the bigger picture that is God working in your life. The real quick vlog entry this week because it was just kind of a busy week for me. We traveled at the end of the week and into the weekend, and so I just wanted to take a couple minutes here and welcome you to part 3 of the Love This Book Challenge. It's a great time to pick up if you skipped or were sporadic for the first 2 journals. The past couple weeks we've jumped into the 3rd one, so I hope you'll join us. Leave me a comment, hit me up on social media, tell me you're reading along. This is not an educational time, this is just a sharing time of me explaining how I'm processing through Love This Book and challenging anybody who's reading and watching this to jump in and find your own life reflections through Love This Book as we finish out the year going through the entire arc of the Bible. Thanks for watching this week. We'll see you later.